Shove it, man!
Shove it, squad, I owe you all an apology. I haven't made a video on the current TNA product in a couple of months, and everyone is upset with me about this. I'm very conscious about this. It's honestly been such a juggling act releasing 2 videos a week whilst doing my other job. Some days I can barely see out of my eyes. I feel like someone smacked me one. I understand some of you subscribe to see the current TNA product on the channel, and I'm working on it alright. This is going to improve because I have an ace up my sleeve, and his name is Brother Peace. He's been a fan of the channel for a long time, and we share a similar sense of humour, so he should fit in well here. He told me that the Jimmy Rave promo from Ring Ka King has helped him to become the man he is today.
Shove it, squad. I hope you're all ready because we're about to party. Woo! Ollie Peace here. Really happy to announce that I'm going to be stepping in to review Impact going forward on the Marky D channel. Plus, I'm going to bring some sex appeal to the table. So, let's celebrate by shaking my titties like the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Brother Peace, for that interesting debut on the channel. We look forward to hearing more from you, I think. So on to the show. When I last tuned in, we were watching a bunch of jobbers take up so much screen time in Diarrhea House as they had immature fights and it was pretty much unwatchable. I complained that there were not enough main eventers and Eddie Edwards was being shoved down our throats as the world champion. I also praised the knockouts, they were the highlight of the show. There was a buzz all around Slammiversary 2020 and everyone seemed to be talking about Impact for the first time in a long time. The general consensus was that it was a good show. And it was. But it was also a missed opportunity. I've had some time to think about this one now, and I have to get it off my chest. Impact used the return of former Impact World Champions, and also the insinuation that the Aces and Eights were returning to drive interest in Slammiversary. Of course, none of this lived up to the hype if you think about it. The returns were Eric Young and EC3, and EC3 hasn't really been a proper member of the roster. And Aces and Eights? Well, that didn't happen. I don't think it's been mentioned since. People were hyped up for these things, it's why people were actually taking an interest in the product again. A rehash isn't normally a good thing, but there was a genuine interest in seeing the Aces and Eights again. I think TNA missed the boat not having a big storyline come out of the pay-per-view and ending the show with a big angle to continue the buzz. Instead they chose the safe option, relying on Eddie Edwards, and focusing on a bunch of embarrassing wrestlers in a fake reality TV show arguing about who was snoring. I'm never watching Diarrhea House again. Since all of that, we have a new world champion in Eric Young, but now it's Rich Swann. And the Motor City Machine Guns won and lost the tag belts back to the north. For those of you who don't remember who they are, they're the team of a normal looking guy and one less normal looking guy. Jordan Grace and Deanna Praza were killing it feuding over the Knockouts title, but I'm afraid to report that Su Yung is now the champion. The small bold man is still the X Division champion though, so I guess we can celebrate that, or not. So what else has changed? Well, there was a number of returns at the recent Bound for Glory pay-per-view. Most notably is, of course, Cowboy James Storm, although this looks like it was a one-off appearance. I'm not going to go into depth and review that show because it's already been done by much better channels than mine. And when I say that with a tongue in a cheek and a fist in the face. Because if you think Tom's better than me, you're a disgrace. Let's get on with the show. Does it suck or does it blow? The show starts out tonight with Eric Young throwing around Rich Swann, who had beaten him for his world title. They fight out to the ring, but it just looks like a wrestler beating up a fan. How can you dress like that and call yourself the world champion of a promotion? What the hell is that belt? It looks like something Shark Boy would wear. Eric Young chokes Swan and he starts dribbling and phlegming all over his own face. How can you have a world champion look so stupid? Young is pounding on him, but some security nerds come out to stop him. Eric is screaming that he wants his rematch right now, but Scott D'Amore tells him no and sends him to the back like a good little boy. Rich Swann starts screaming, give it to him now, and they decide to fight right here. D'Amore is hesitant, but he allows the match to take place. Eric shoves Swann from the top, but misses a splash. Swann then hits a nice flipping kick, but EY kicks out a 2. Swann then does a really fake looking kick and splashes him for a 2. Eric powerbombs him across the ring, but Swann without any shoes kicks out. Swann's really flying around the ring in this match more than the fake Hawk on Ring Ka King. He hits a cutter and then the Phoenix Splash to retain his title. He is a great wrestler, but he certainly doesn't carry himself like a champion, and he just sounds like a goof. So the world title scene hasn't changed, has it? It still sucks. Not sure what's going to happen next with EY. Backstage, Havoc and Nevaeh are being weird and say that he's back and the wedding is on. They're talking about Jon E Bravo and Rosemary's wedding, which is the main event of the show tonight. What a show I've chosen to come back on. There's a bunch of knockouts banging on a door and asking what's happening with the TNA Knockouts tag titles. A random guy then walks up and says that there'll be a tag title tournament. No one wants to team up with a piss-coloured hair lady because she smells. Tasha Steelz and Kira Hogan start making fun of her for not having friends. Jordynne Grace then sticks up for her and says she'll team up with her tonight, so that's a match that's happening now. Brian Jobbers comes out to take on Tommy Dreamer in... guess what? Go on, guess. Of course, it's Tommy Dreamer, it's a hardcore match. Tommy pays homage to Road Warrior Animal, who recently passed away. Tommy's put on even more weight since I last saw him. I wish he would just go away. Tommy hits a suplex on the ramp. Tommy then gets an old man walker and smashes Jobbers with it. He should have probably kept it for himself. He then picks up a garbage can and pretends that it's the heaviest thing he's ever lifted. Ring bell to the nutsack, and Jobbers fights back, putting Tommy on the rail and hitting him with a bin. Dreamer slides the trash can into Jobbers. Dreamer then goes for a dive, but Jobbers smashes him. Jobbers then starts doing a Carlito and spitting apples at Tommy. Not sure why he did this. Matthews is going nuts on commentary and says that the apples are probably poisoned. What is he on? Jobbers then sets up a chair and drops Dreamer on it face first. Jobbers is on top for a long time, but Dreamer eventually nails a cutter for a 2. Dreamer then gets a bag of thumbtacks and corn and puts them in the ring. Jobbers tries to hit a superplex, but Dreamer bites him and pushes him off into the thumbtacks and corn. Jobbers kicks out though. Tommy brings a table into the match next, but Jobbers clotheslines him into the tacks. Jobbers has a kendo stick and says that he's going to end Tommy's career. Then, out of the dustbin, it's Hornswoggle. Yay! The reason I stopped watching wrestling in the first place. He clips Jobbers' nutsack and then Dreamer hits the Death Valley driver through a table. A cool spot, but it's 2020. No one wants to see Tommy Dreamer winning matches anymore. Rhino is backstage with a trophy and a Ginger Man. Rhino says they're going to be challenging for the tag titles. The Ginger Man says he's signing a TNA contract next week, but he's still a bit hurt. I think they're doing a Sean Stasiak from 2001 gimmick with him because he's acting like a complete moron. The Oi 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 guys are backstage grabbing Fallah Bahh. Hernandez hired these 2 Mohawk guys to get his wad of cash back, and apparently Fallah Bahh has it. I'm pretty sure this has now been going on for over 2 months. They punch Fallah Bahh in his fat belly and they walk off. Fallah Bahh said he didn't have the money, but he was lying because the wad of cash was in his knickers the whole time. 2 obese men struggle out to the ring next with extremely unfitting theme music. Apparently one of them has lost £100, though I'm not sure if that's true. The opponents will be the Little Rascals. The obese guys win with the slightly less obese man hitting a splash from the top. It wasn't actually a bad match, I just don't want to talk about it. Now we have a man who looks like he hasn't slept in a few weeks, and he's a lawyer representing Deonna Purrazzo. He wants Scott D'Amore to reverse the Su Yung title change. The Motor City Machine Guns are backstage being interviewed, and they say that they'll rematch the North for the titles when they can. The 2 obese men then walk up and interfere with them. Sabin asks them why they're here and says that they don't have any food for them. The Motor City Machine Guns still cut these funny old school TNA promos. I miss this sort of thing. The obese guys attack Shelley. I love the guns. Scott D'Amore is in the ring talking about the controversy surrounding the Knockouts title. He says that as Deonna lost the title to Su Yung in an open challenge, it's her own fault and he won't reverse the decision. Deonna and Kimberly the Clown come out with their lawyer. The tired man does a lot of talking and says that it's not fair because Su Yung probably beat up the Northern coal miner who was originally meant to be the challenger. D'Amore just tells them to stop wasting his time and says that if they try to file a lawsuit it will take up to 7 years. He also tells Deonna to just have her contractual rematch instead of all this rubbish, and they agree to have it next week. Su Yung, the new Knockouts champion, then comes out and attacks everybody. I love the Knockouts, but I wish Deonna had done the talking instead of this goofball. She's got such a cool voice. It's good to see a wrestler with an actual gimmick here with Su Yung as well. One that's not embarrassing, that is. To the back again, and a bunch of little boys are sucking up to Rich Swann. Moose walks up and there's some weird filter. I don't know what they're going for here. It's like he was a drone or something. Moose says that he's still got the fake world title and calls Rich Swann poor. He makes fun of how he was brought up. Well, he certainly looks poor, so he's probably not wrong. Willie Mack challenges Moose to a match and Moose seems to accept. Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock are then somewhere else backstage and they threaten Rich Swann. This man just doesn't have a drop of charisma and he looks terrified. A normal man and a slightly less normal man are backstage lecturing some security guards about how to be tag team wrestlers. The Bold brothers then walk up and the normal guy calls them the worst investment in Impact history. That's quite a stretch. I mean, come on, there's been a lot of worse investments. I'll let you tell me down in the comments who the worst investments were. They all fight because they don't like each other very much. The small bald man is backstage acting like The Rock. I don't know what the point of him is, and I couldn't care less. Somewhere else in the building, it's Jon E Bravo, the in-the-closet man, and he says that Fallah Bahh can no longer be his best man. I swear I've never seen them interact before. Why was he the best man? We've got a match next. Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan come out. They will be taking on the team of the piss-coloured lady and Jordynne Grace, who is above all of this, by the way. Jordynne Grace beats up Tasha Steelz. The piss-coloured lady stops her from diving by being a bad tag team partner. Kiera Hogan and Little Miss Piss fight, and she almost puts Kiera away. Jordynne and Piss then start double teaming. There's so much screaming in this match, it's hurting my ears. Kiera Hogan then hits a super kick and the bad girls start dominating the match. Does anyone actually like Tasha Steelz? I haven't seen a single good thing from her so far. Just as I say that, she hits a spinebuster. Jordynne Grace gets in the match for the first time in a while and almost beats the two girls on her own. Jordynne then almost wins again with a splash. Matthews and Madison are like death on commentary, as Matthews asked Madison for the 5th time in a row how she'd rate the team of Jordynne and Piss. Tasha then rolls up Little Miss Piss for the 3. Not much of a surprise there. Please get Jordynne back in the title scene. Willie Mack is backstage with a fan and then Moose whacks him with the belt. It was quick, it was brief, and I didn't care. Backstage, Taya is talking to Rosemary about her wedding day. Taya says that the groom is out of control. The piss-coloured lady then runs up to Taya and asks if she's missed the wedding. Yeah, of course you've not missed the wedding, because they're in a broom closet. Do people get married in broom closets? Not even in TNA does that happen, you idiot. Who the hell invited her anyway? So here we are, it's wedding time, and I'm watching yet another wrestling wedding. I swear I don't do this deliberately. A bunch of jobbers are around the ring as Matthews excitedly points out which wrestlers are watching. Jon E Bravo is the groom, and I was convinced he was in the closet, but he's about to marry Rosemary, so I guess I was wrong. Father James Mitchell comes out. Yeah, this man has more star power than anyone else on this show, and he's not even a wrestler. I'm not sure why he's here though. Is it because his son Abyss was best friends with Rosemary at one point? I don't know. Rosemary comes out with Crazy Steve and what's that music? Oh, it's the Decay's music. That's awesome to hear. I've missed that. Please just don't do this wedding. Please just reform Decay and just do something interesting. Just not this wedding. Oh, Father James Mitchell is playing the vicar. James Mitchell calls Jon E Bravo a virgin. Well, that doesn't surprise me. They have both made their own vows and Johnny has written a cringy poem. They keep acting like someone is going to interrupt and ruin the wedding, but so far nothing. Rosemary reads her vows and still nothing happens. They get to the I do's. Don't do it. And then they, please no, don't do it. And then Johnny says yes, no, don't do it. And then Rosemary says yes. And then they go to kiss and the lights go out. Everyone is screaming. The lights then come on. Jon E Bravo is knocked out in the ring. He's been shot. Tommy Dreamer is screaming, who shot Bravo? Then the show ends. This show is terrible. I'm glad Brother Peace is dealing with this from now on. Hopefully he understands these people better than me. This ending segment was Diarrhea House all over again. It was the same wrestlers being immature, and who the f*** cares who shot Jon E Bravo? I couldn't care less who shot Jon E Bravo. I hope he's dead, and I hope I never have to watch this show again. I didn't care when someone shot Mr. Burns, and I didn't care when someone shot Phil Mitchell. So why would I care about this? The focus of the show is a balding, middle-aged, in-the-closet virgin referee. What is the payoff of this? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like they tried to find the lamest person on the show and made him the main character. I'm not even sure if it's serious. Are we supposed to believe that he's actually shot? I don't know, this whole show was written by 8-year-olds. Jon E Bravo can shove it. So Brother Peace will be doing the Impact reviews from now on because these shows have broken me. These reviews will be on this channel, so be nice to him or I'll smack you one. So ultimately, nothing's changed really, has it? The knockouts are still the best part of the show. Moose is still shoved in the background instead of having the show based around him. Tommy Dreamer is still taking up airtime in 2020. And there's still 30 wrestlers on the roster who look like they either don't work out or they're too small to be allowed in a gym unsupervised. I really want to like this show, I really do. I start to get into it with the knockout stuff, and then some stupid stuff happens like this wedding angle. It just kills it for me, I'm sorry. Brother Peace, it's all yours.